Hello and welcome to my channel, anybody who's new and anybody who's returning, because this is a very powerful moment in time, at least for my channel and my works. Somebody, HighImpactFlix, Brian Young, GreaseMonkeyVideos, he goes through a number of channel names because he's been on the platform for many times and all platforms, and people share his videos. He's a great dude. I've talked to him and I didn't expect, but he put out a video going over one of the brochures that I made, and we've been talking about collaborating, but I didn't expect him to make out this video, and this video is amazing and I want to share it with you guys. So I'm going to put it in the description below in case you haven't seen it, but in case you come from his channel and you're new to my channel, well, welcome. I have a lot of interesting projects on the way, and I thank you for watching. I thank Brian from HighImpactFlix for everything he's done over the years. I mean, he's the guy who originally got me thinking. In fact, the 7 questions that he first goes over in my brochure are actually the questions that got me thinking about statism and slavery and government and the things that he talks about in that video. And in case you are a little confused about those topics, don't worry, I have a bunch of videos on every single topic. Okay, I actually have a resources video that I'm going to be putting out soon, so stay tuned for that, because it's going to go over a bunch of different resources that you would use in your day-to-day life and within online or in internet threads or videos or what have you, that can really help in your efforts to share the truth or share what you think is really important. You know, everybody in independent media has something really crucial to share, and everybody thinks, well, it's all important. It is all important, but the difference is that we have to hit the system at the roots. We need to understand how we actually attain freedom, by definition, by requirement, and that HighImpactFlix and myself, we're on the same page with. We recognize, like, things need to change, and we need to strike at statism, which is this belief system that brochure that he goes over goes into. It asks many questions tackling that belief system, and I recommend looking at it, because all of independent media, they'll do great things, but they may stray away from that root cause. They may be talking about news or left versus right, and I like the fact that Brian is willing to address what independent media for over 20 years has gotten a little confused about, what Larkin Rose and Mark Passio have been saying for many years, and they haven't got as much attention in independent media. They got some, and they have definitely a great influence, and we're continuing to grow, but independent media, instead of playing the game, needs to realize the whole game is illegitimate to begin with. And a lot of independent media, you know what, they know about it too. A lot of them are playing the game and they're selling different supplements or selling different things, and it's okay, you know, those things are okay, but that's not the solution. The solution is get your followers to do something. How long have we gone in independent media? For 20, 30 plus years, and we've put out such great information. The world just got worse, incredibly worse, just within 1 year. See, things can happen at all very quickly, because there's so many order followers and so many complacent people, and nobody's ready to take action, and nobody is gathered in real life, so they can censor people, they can create a false flag event, and everybody will just go with it, and all the independent media will be like, oh my gosh, look at this new event that we have to expose with education. But they may have the knowledge, where's the action? And that is where I am here to be. I am here to hold independent media accountable, and all the respect to independent media and everything they've done over more than my lifetime, more than my entire lifetime, but I am here to set things at a change of motion, because HighImpactFlix is sick of what's going on and sick of how he just wants freedom, and I want that too, and everybody wants that too. Well, then let's actually create it. We need to get the conversation going on at practical action steps, what we can apply in our day-to-day life. You know, not just the right knowledge that hits at the root, but how do we actually achieve that? This is why I create a movement. This is why I create a newspaper project where anybody can get involved, why I create a summit where everybody can get together, because these projects are setting us on the right trail toward collective action, in the sense of still it's individual change that's required to get to that point, but we need to have some sort of organization to defeat this large organization, which isn't so large, of people who are just highly skilled at mental manipulation. And if we recognize that that is illegitimate, but there's a mass world of people who are entrapped in darkness and don't have that knowledge that they need in order to free themselves, and they're dragging us into their net of slavery, we need to educate them. We need to share that knowledge with them. Okay, so I have a resources video coming out soon that will have a bunch of stuff going over many of the resources I've made over the past year. I would highly recommend checking that out when it's out. I have a movement website which I created that has the brochure that HighImpactFlix goes over in his video. And that website I made to sort of detail the action and the knowledge. Now, it doesn't have to be the only movement that we use or the only movement that helps create that change we want to see. I don't want to have a movement or a team or a political party or anything like that to create change in the world, right? I just want to live my life. But what greater message is there than nature? Nature is the Answer is the name of my channel because it's the name of the movement. And anybody can use it because I create it for everybody. There's nothing greater than nature that I can see. You may be religious. That's great. That's fine with me, okay? Because you see God, and you see God is really important above the human authority of man. That's perfectly fine with me, right? I use the word nature because I think it's universal for all gods. Now let's look at health, right? Oh my gosh, health is going crazy. Well, what's the solution to that? Natural health. Oh my gosh, we have politics and man's law and all these restrictions. Well, what's the solution to that? Natural law. The answers are in nature. And so nature is the answer. And I'm going to delve deeper into what I mean by that in, my presentations I already have in 2 books that I wrote about slavery and nature. But still, I want to put in different formats and I want you to get involved. The presentation may be more of an educational thing, but I always want to delve into action. I want to be the person who enters independent media and says, hey, what about the action? Hey, can we actually do something right now with people? And there are change happening. There is change happening, and we just need to have the eye out, the lookout to find it. Okay, just like how there's people around you that think like you don't think that, and you think everybody's in darkness. No, they feel the same thing you're feeling. They just don't know what to do. They are actually just as trapped as you are when it comes to action. Isn't that funny? Okay, so we need to get that conversation started, and I'm glad Brian is willing to do that. Because independent media, like I said, over 30 plus years, what's the greatest action they have? Oh, buy more supplements. Oh, let's expand the studio. But what about, setting up a rally, going door to door, handing out materials, encouraging people make their own materials, teaching them how to make materials, teaching them how to make videos. Mark Pastio has an actual class teaching people how to use computers because people don't know how. And then it's like, well, how do you wonder that we can't reach the masses and the people in darkness? Okay, so I don't mean to get heated up about this, and people are going to look at me and be like, oh, look at this guy with long hair and this hippie-looking dude saying nature is the answer. Take of me if you wish. I don't care, right? I don't judge. I don't budge. I am here to create freedom. For you, for everybody, it doesn't matter, all right? And you can say whatever you want. I don't care, right? I'm going to get done what needs to get done. I have an action playlist I would highly recommend with the video that says must see. Any of my must see videos are important. Must see the 4 action steps of total change. I would recommend seeing that because I think a movement is necessary. You may not think that, but I think ultimately we need to get together and get clear as to what action we need to do, what knowledge we need to focus on. Okay? And I also have a Slavery Gone for Good playlist for people who are interested in what HighImpactFlix has said about my brochure, and people who want to know why government is slavery, why slavery still exists today, why slavery is actually the complete opposite of freedom, and therefore when you understand slavery you attain freedom. We need to hold independent media accountable, and we need to act, right? No longer just producing content or consuming content. We need to act and put this to an end. We need to actually make sure that freedom is the possibility here. Otherwise, we just see it as impossible. Like, oh, well, no one's ever going to wake up. No one's ever going to listen to us. And a lot of people feel like that. And a lot of people are like, well, we need Jesus Christ. We need somebody to come down and save us. No, that's not the solution either. Because guess what? Even if you do have a God like such, okay, which I have no problem with, that person gave you your ability to reason, your ability to change things. But it's up to you what you want to do with that ability. It's up to you with what you do with your time and your attention, spiritual currency, okay, to achieve spiritual goals such as freedom, spiritual principle, because everybody needs it, because it frees them from their chains of bondage, okay? And it's universal and timeless, and every generation has ever sought it. And we never questioned statism for all these many years, just as the slaves in their condition were never questioned for thousands of years. It's the same exact scenario. That's why I wrote a book about it. I would recommend you check out my Twitch channel if you're interested in live streams. and just look forward to the future, because there's a lot of interesting plans, and hopefully we can get more involved. I got in touch with David Icke and Mark Passio and so many people I never expected to get involved with, simply because I put my effort into this matter and I saw that there is change that needs to be done. We need to start somewhere, right? We need to start somewhere, and we are getting there. But your action is necessary, and your conversation is necessary. So we need to make it happen. Thank you, HighImpactFlix, for responding, for getting together materials, for going over my brochures, and I appreciate anybody who comes over to my channel. If you have any questions, feel free to leave it down in the comment section below. I'll have the resources and the playlist that I mentioned in the description below. Thank you very much for watching. Take care. Nature is the answer.